welcome everybody back to another episode of How to Play Dominion. It's been a while since we did one of these. If you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you're watching on Twitch, you can follow me on YouTube. It's DARKTICUNO Dominion, which I will put down here so you can spell that out. So we can spell that out for you. There we go. I know it's not the same name as I go by in Dominion client, but that's just what it is on YouTube. So it's been a while since we did one of these. I think it was April since the last one. We talked a little bit about how to play the game, the basics, and some of the cards that you see. We talked with base set, we talked with intrigue, we talked with prosperity, platinums, colonies, victory points, dual type cards. If you haven't seen the videos, go back and watch them because we're going to be talking about some different stuff today, and I don't think any of those really come into play here, but they're always good to watch beforehand. So I'm not going to be talking too much about the normal supply cards that you see: copper, silver, gold, curse, estate, duchy, province. If you want me to talk about those, go watch the first episode. Today we're going to be talking about a couple more expansions: Cornucopia, Guilds, and Renaissance. Now, if you've been playing with me, if you're one of my friends, you've been playing with me with Dominion recently, you've probably already played with Cornucopia and Guilds. Cards like Tournament, which is from Cornucopia, Young Witch, also from Cornucopia, Masterpiece from Guilds, Candlestick Maker from Guilds. Some of these cards you are not going to recognize. Flag Bearer from Renaissance, Lackeys from Renaissance, all the Renaissance cards, Recruiter, Treasurer. These are all new cards, and we're going to go over each of them individually. But first, we want to look at the overlaying mechanics for this set. With Cornucopia, the big thing is you want variety in your cards, and the cards that are in Cornucopia will blatantly tell you that. Menagerie gives you +1 action. You reveal your hand, and if the reveal cards all have different names, you get +3 cards. Otherwise, it's just a cantrip. +1 card, +1 action. Otherwise, it's a very powerful card at +3 cards and +1 action. So you are really benefiting from a very diverse deck. If you've got a lot of differently named cards in your deck, Menagerie is going to be very valuable to you. If you're only building with golds and provinces, you're not going to have as much luck with this. Hunting Party is another one that shows off the variety feature of Cornucopia. It's a cantrip, +1 card and +1 action, but you reveal your hand, and you reveal cards from your deck until you reveal one that isn't a copy of one in your hand. You put it into your hand and discard the rest. So you are looking at cards that aren't already in your hand. You're looking for one of those, and that will be added to your hand as well as the +1 card that you automatically get. So if you have a variety of different cards, you're going to be picking them up pretty frequently with Hunting Party. Hunting Party is also what is known as a self-engine. If you've got a few Hunting Parties in your deck and only one in your hand, if you play Hunting Party, you'll get +1 card, and you might draw a second Hunting Party, which means that you can continue to build your hand size with this and continue to work towards those higher cost cards like Gold or Province, or even another 5 card if you're still in the early phases like Recruiter or Treasurer. Guilds. The big thing with guilds is coffers. Candlestick Maker is going to give you one of them. Action and a buy as well, but the coffers are coin tokens. These can be used in your buy phase to add 1 to your coin total. If you've got 3 silvers and a coffer, congratulations. You can use that coffer to get a +4 cost card. Flag Bearer, Mountain Village, Tournament, Young Witch. All of these are available to you if you use 1 coffer, and I think I said 3 silvers. I think that was incorrect. I meant 3 currency. 3 currency and a coffer will get you a 4 cost card. If you play 1 silver and 1 coffer, you can get something that's worth 3, like Masterpiece, Menagerie, or another silver if you wanted to. So that is guilds to a T, is basically the coffers. Coffers are a big thing with guilds. What we're introducing that's new to those who have been playing with me recently is villagers. Now, villagers are something with Renaissance. Renaissance introduces a variety of different things. They introduce villagers, they introduce artifacts, which we will look at a little bit later, and they introduce projects. We're not going to get into projects just yet because we haven't gotten into events or landmarks yet, and projects are kind of building off of that. So we're not going to look at projects too much, but what we are going to look at is villagers and artifacts. Villagers are coffers with actions. If you gain a lackeys, you're going to get 2 villagers. These are villagers that you can spend if you're out of actions to play another card. For example, if you have 2 lackeys in your hand and you've gained 4 villagers because you've gained 2 lackeys, if you play the first one, you draw 2 cards, and you think, oh, this is a pretty good hand, I want to keep going, you can use one of your 4 villagers to play the second lackeys, even though you're out of actions. These villagers can come into play really, really helpfully. Helpfully? Is that a word? They can be really helpful. There we go. Recruiter is another one that gives you villagers. It gets you +2 cards, similar to lackeys. However, you must trash a card from your hand, and you get +1 villager per 1 it costs. I have actually won a game against another player using Recruiter to trash a province to get 8 villagers to just keep playing draw cards like Recruiter and lackeys. So that +1 villager for every 1 it costs can actually be pretty helpful for you. The other thing that we're looking at with Renaissance is artifacts, and you can see that with Flagbearer and Treasurer, we have a little horizontal card here. These will give you a specific condition that you must fulfill in order to take this artifact. This artifact lives in front of you after you have obtained it. You gain or trash the Flagbearer, you take the flag. So if you buy the Flagbearer on a 4-3 opening split, you're going to take that flag, and for every turn you draw your hand, you get +1 card, meaning that you're going to start each of your turns with 6 cards. Now that's pretty good, but here's the kicker. The other players can also take the flag away from you. There's only 1 flag. You're fighting over it. If you have the flag and someone else gains a Flagbearer, guess what? You don't have that flag anymore. It's goodbye. Sayonara. See you later. You can, however, take the flag back by gaining another Flagbearer or trashing a Flagbearer that you have in your hand. It doesn't actually have to be in your hand, but you have to trash it at some point. And Recruiter and Flagbearer work really well together. If you got a Recruiter and a Flagbearer in your hand and your opponent has the flag, well, guess what? You can draw 2 cards, trash that Flagbearer to take the flag back, and you're gaining 4 villagers because that Flagbearer still costs 4. That's a pretty good combination right there, Recruiter and Flagbearer. Treasurer has the other artifact in this game. At the start of your turn, you get +1 coin. How do you get the key? You play Treasurer. Treasurer will give you +3 coins, so it's already worth a gold. That's pretty good. And you choose one. You trash a treasure from your hand, so you can get rid of those pesky coppers at the start of the game. Or you can gain a treasure from the trash. If someone has somehow trashed a gold, you can grab that out of the trash and bring it up to your hand. That doesn't go to your discard pile. Or you can take the key. And the key will give you +1 currency for every turn. No more pesky 7s, unless you hit 6. If you hit 7 and you have the key, you now have enough for a province. So we're going to start the game out here. Cornucopia and Guilds. I guess we'll go over tournament and Young Witch in game. As you've seen before with some of these games, if you've been playing with me, if you haven't been, here's a little bit about tournament. Tournament is a +1 card, +1 coin, +1 action if no one, pretty much in the early game. If no one else reveals a province, you get +1 card, +1 action, +1 coin. That's pretty good on its own. But if you reveal a province, you can discard it and gain any prize from the prize pile. These are all extremely good cards. Some of them give cards, some of them give actions. Princess gives a buy, some of them give coin, some of them give you gold, like bag of gold. You can gain 4 silvers with Trusty Steed. They're all really strong cards, but in order to get them, you have to play a tournament and have a province in your hand. You do it, you get one of these prizes, or you get a duchy. Prize pile is separate. It's a non-supply pile, so you can't buy these cards straight out of the prize pile. You have to gain them some other way, in this case via tournament. Young Witch. Young Witch has a setup rule, which is something that's underneath this little black line here, that you have to pay attention to when you're setting up the game. You add an extra kingdom card pile costing 2 or 3 to the supply. I've chosen lackeys for this one because I wanted to show off the villagers. And cards from that pile are Bane cards, meaning that if someone plays a Young Witch on you and you have a lackeys in your hand, which is a Bane card, you can reveal it from your hand to avoid gaining a curse. Young Witch, honestly, not all that strong of a card, but because of the additional setup rule of Bane cards, I wanted to include it here in this episode. Tournament, I just love tournament, and I wanted to talk about the non-supply piles because we'll be getting into those in future episodes if I continue the series. Um, and I just really like tournament. Other cards, we wanted to talk about artifacts, we want to talk about villagers. We did so with lackeys, with treasure, with recruiter, with flag bearer. The other cards are just kind of thrown in here. Mountain Village is a pretty fun village, honestly. Hunting Party and Menagerie were both shown as um, variety cards from Cornucopia. Masterpiece I wanted to show off just because it has a overpay feature, which is another feature added in guilds, which is if you are buying a masterpiece, you can overpay for it. And for each 1 coin you overpay, you gain a silver. So if you pay 5 coin and you buy a masterpiece, you can overpay 2 coin to gain 2 silvers. Pretty good, but not really a great card. It's only 1, it's worth a copper. So once it's in your deck, it's kind of just there. You kind of want to get rid of it. But overpaying is a feature that is also present in guilds. I think I've covered all the features, so let's actually get into the game here. We're going to look at Menagerie would be a good cantrip, but we don't really have that diverse of a deck right now. It's just coppers and estates, so we're not going to buy Menagerie just yet. Instead, we're actually going to take a small hit here and not use all 3 of our coin. We're going to grab our first lackeys. As you can see in the Dominion client, you have a little indicator here that shows villagers. Oops, I just got rid of it. That was my mistake. There, it's back. You got a little indicator here that shows you how many villagers you have, which is 2. We gained the lackeys, so we gained 2 villagers. We can use those 2 villagers to play more cards when we're out of actions. As of right now, we're going to be looking at Flag Bearer. We want to grab that flag as early as possible to start drawing hands of 6. Excuse me, I can barely talk today. Our opponent went for a 5... Oh, he had a 5-2 split. I was looking at this and I'm thinking, how do you get a 5-4 split? That doesn't make sense. He got a 5-2 split and got a candlestick maker and a treasurer. I think I would have preferred the lackeys over the candlestick maker, but you do you. As for the 5, recruiter is the play for early game. It's good trashing, gets you some villagers, gets you some draw. If you can trash your estates with these, it's going to get you a lot of villagers for the late game when you're looking at trying to draw with cards like lackeys, with cards like Smithy, which isn't in here. It's plus 3 cards if you don't know. I'm not sure that Treasurer was the play. He's going for early currency. You can trash the coppers, I guess, but I don't think that was the go-to. And he's going to get a tournament with 4. The thing about bots, Lord Dragonton is a bot. We're not playing with an actual player. The thing about bots is any time that tournament is in play, they will try to buy it anytime they hit 4. They think that this card is the greatest of all time. And while it is really strong and a good card, it's not really all that great in the early game. There are other options like Flag Bearer. It's better than Mountain Village. I think it would go Flag Bearer, Tournament, Young Witch, Mountain Village. Maybe Mountain Village, Young Witch. Young Witch is kind of a sifter card. You don't really want that in the early game. So as you can see, I played my lackeys, drew 2 cards, drew a copper and a flag bearer. Uh-oh, I'm out of actions. As you can see right here, 0 actions. However, I can use one of my villagers, as I've said before, to play this flag bearer. And I'm going to do so because I am going to hit 7 here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have an additional buy, but I just want to grab a recruiter here. I want to start getting rid of these estates. We got our lackeys on the second draw, or the fourth draw. Technically, it's a second draw because you can't get it on the first 2, which is good, but we didn't really draw anything that we could use with it. So we're going to play our 5, and we're going to grab our first hunting party. We kind of got a little bit of a variety with our deck here. We've got lackeys, flag bearer, recruiter, and hunting party. So picking up that little variety booster will help us out a little bit. We're going to play our recruiter here to trash the estate, to build up our villagers because we're going to be spending 1 to play flag bearer. We could have played flag bearer first, but I just like to play the recruiter first to see if there's anything better that we could have trashed. Alright, we got 6 here, so we can grab the treasure, we can grab the gold. Our opponent has the key, so that's not really great for us. We have the flag still, and it doesn't look like he's picked up a flag bearer yet. He's probably going to just keep going for tournaments, so I don't really think we need to worry about the flag bearers too much. We're going to try and take the treasurer here. And then maybe we'll grab a mountain village pretty soon. We got a lot of terminal actions going on here, and the villagers can only support us for so long. We're going to trash that estate. Our opponent doesn't have the flag, so there's no real use in getting rid of the flag bearer for right now. We'll play our lackeys and trash one of our coppers with... do we want to trash or do we want to take the key? I think we want to take the key here. We'll take the key. We're going to play our flag bearer. Look at that. We're already down to one villager. We've been using them a lot here. I'm not really sure that I should have played the flag bearer here. We're not going to get a province this early. It's a little... Actually, with tournament in play, maybe the province is the play. We're going to grab an early province, and we're going to see if we can pick up a tournament in a little bit here. How about that? We'll grab the tournament right now. We're actually getting a lot of coin early in the game, which is decent, but it's not great. We don't have additional buys here except for Candlestick Maker and Princess from the prize pile. So getting a lot of coin here isn't going to be a whole lot of worth to us. Hopefully we can pick up a tournament pretty soon here and work with that for... okay, that's fine. We'll just trash a copper with this, and we'll play our tournament to reveal our province, and we're going to grab the princess early to give us an additional buy here. We're out of villagers, as you can see, which is kind of not great for us. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play the princess, we're going to play our coppers, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look for additional villagers in a little bit here. I think right now, so with princess, while this isn't play, cards cost 2 less, but not less than 0. So these lackeys are a cost of 0. That's pretty good for us. They took the key away from us, which is fine. But we're looking for ways to get more villagers. And recruiter is not bad, but it's also not going to be great for trashing our coppers with. I think treasure is probably a better option for that. But like I said, we got a lot of terminal actions in here. We don't have a village to support it. So what I'm thinking here is we're going to grab a mountain village and a lackeys. And lackeys will get us 2 villagers. That will give us a little bit of time to continue to trash some of our stuff. And I think we want to grab the hunting party. Hunting party also works really well with tournament, because if you get the prizes quickly, these are going to be drawn pretty easily. We'll play our recruiter here. I don't think we really need a second lackeys, so we'll trash it. We'll play our tournament, reveal a province, and we're going to grab a Trusty Steed. Trusty Steed is fantastic variety. You get to choose 2 of these options. You get +2 cards, +2 actions, +2 coin, or gain 4 silvers and put your deck into your discard pile. That's definitely the most wordy of the 4 options. You choose 2 of those. So you get the cards and the actions, cards and the coins, cards and the silvers, actions and the silvers, actions and the coins, or the coins and the silvers. Here... we got a lot of actions in our hand, so we definitely want the actions. The question is, do we want the cards or the coins? We're going to draw a little bit with lackeys, but I think we want to go... I don't know how much is in our discard pile. We're going to go cards and actions. And hope... yeah, we still got a lot of cards here, so that's pretty good. We can't really draw anything from our discard pile, which is fine, but we'll play the Mountain Village anyway and just draw a random card, which worked out for us pretty well. I like Flag Bearer here. We're going to play our lackeys. We're going to play our princess. We're going to play our treasure, and we'll just trash a copper. We don't really need the key right now, I think. We got enough cards that give us coin. Play our flag bearer. And we have 9 with 2 buys, and the princess is in effect, meaning that everything costs less. So I think what we want to do here is we want to look at getting a province, but we also want to look at getting something else here. And I'm not sure what exactly we want. We could go recruit, get some additional draw, some additional villagers. Could go lackeys, get some additional draw and some villagers, which is pretty good. We definitely want to grab the province, though. I think that getting a second province here will help boost our tournament chances. Plus, our opponent isn't really doing much with their tournament, so because they don't have any provinces yet. So I think getting a second province will be good to try and empty out that prize pile before he gets a shot at it. I'm between Hunting Party and Recruiter. I think we got a lot of variety here, so I think Hunting Party is the play. We're going to reveal provinces to block his... So, blocking... if no one else does... if no one else reveals a province with tournament, you get +1 card and +1 coin. But if someone does, they're blocking that card and coin. All that Lord Ragington did by playing that tournament is get the +1 action, which is not great for him. Luckily, we had that province to block him out. All right, not a great hand. Really not a great hand. We got 2 buys and 4 coins to work with, though. So I think we can improve our deck a little bit more with a second hunting party. Maybe a menagerie here, since we've got such a varied deck. Look at this. Look at all of the variety here. If only I drew my menagerie here, this would be perfect. We're going to play our hunting party first to try and increase the hand size here. We don't have a province, so we don't want to play that tournament just yet. I don't know what's in our discard pile. Are all of those in my discard pile? I didn't think I got a second tournament. No, wait. Okay, no, that's just the hand that I revealed. And then I put a copper into my hand. What? I'm confused. We drew the treasurer with the +1 card. That makes sense. But then we revealed all of this and put a copper into our hand. How do we reveal a copper with the... I don't know. I don't think we had a copper in our hand. I think we drew that with the second draw of hunting party. I don't know what happened there. That's just kind of a weird phrasing in the log. I don't understand that. All right. Anyway, what are we looking at here? I got really confused for a second there. We could trash the lackeys with the recruiter to get more villagers, or we could just play the mountain village to keep our villagers for when we actually need them. Menagerie looks really good here. We're going to grab a menagerie and draw 3 cards with it. Hunting party will add a state and a province. Not great for us. That's okay though, because we can play our recruiter and trash that estate. Get rid of that. Play our hunting party. Play another hunting party. Just keep drawing until our hand is full of variety here. We're going to play our trusty steed. I think all I have in my deck is a copper, so not really interested in drawing it. Instead, we're going to go for the actions and coins, I think. What's going to be the best here? We'll play our tournament, reveal our province, and grab followers. Followers is a really strong attack card. You get +2 cards, and each other player gains a curse and discards down to 3 cards in hand. So it's basically Torturer on steroids. If you ever know, the Torturer card is +3 cards. It gives each opponent a choice between gaining a curse to their hand or discarding down to 3 cards in hand. The drawback to followers is that you have to gain an estate. But in this case, it's going to be pretty good for us because we actually want estates so that we can trash them with recruiters. So this is actually pretty good for us. We're going to draw with that. And then we're going to draw with lackeys to get that estate into our hand. Unfortunately, we messed up and didn't realize that we didn't have a recruiter with us. So really that draw did absolutely nothing. And it's going to cost us a villager, unfortunately. Because we're going to be using a villager on a card that we would normally just use an action on. We're going to play our princess. We're going to play our flag bearer. We're just going to play everything. Play the treasurer, trash the copper. And we have a whopping 12 coin with 2 buys. That's really good on its own. Maybe I should grab a candlestick maker in the future sometime here to add a 3rd buy to this, because look at this. We can actually double province here. I'm not sure if we want to. You know what? Let's put a little distance here. Let's put a little distance in between us. If we draw poorly, we can always just grab the candlestick maker. We're going to reveal the province to block his tournament. That's good. Play our mountain village. Play our recruiter and trash the estate. Hunting party. Rats. I was hoping for another hunting party, but that's okay. What do we want to do here? We've got 4 actions. We can actually do all 4 of these actions. So we're going to draw with lackeys first to see if we get another... I don't think we have a... Yeah, we don't have a villager, but we'll play our we'll play our hunting party. We actually, believe it or not, are not going to be able to capitalize on this menagerie. Oh, unless we play tournament first. We have two provinces. We're gonna play tournament first to to discard one of those provinces. We'll pick up the diadem, and then we'll be able to capitalize off a menagerie and draw 3 cards. Play the hunting party. Play the hunting party. Play the followers. Now we're out of actions, so we're gonna do actions coins to try and spare as many villagers as we can. We're gonna play treasure, trash our copper, play princess, and play flag bearer. So we're actually out of villagers, which is not great for us, but we can actually double province again, and we're looking pretty strong here. I'm gonna reveal our province. He still hasn't bought a flag bearer, so we don't really need this second flag bearer. So we're actually gonna play our recruiter and trash the flag bearer for the four villagers. It's gonna hit us a little bit with the coins, but I think we'll be okay. We're gonna play our hunting parties. That's all good. We'll play our tournament. Reveal our province. We'll get a bag of gold here and play it onto our deck. We're gonna trash another copper. Draw with followers. Draw with lackeys. We're going to play our trusty sea, and we're going to do cards actions. Unfortunately, we have an extra copper in our hand, so we can't really capitalize off a menagerie. We're going to play it anyway and grab a hunting party out of the deck with Mountain Village, play our hunting party, play our princess, and that should hopefully be enough to empty out the province pile with a victory for us. And and we're up 44-6. To rub it in the boss face, we're going to buy a curse. That is, by the way, my favorite way to mess with my friends. When you're very far ahead and you have an extra buy to end the game, buy a curse. If you're more than 1 victory point ahead. Alrighty. So that showed off a little bit about Cornucopia, Guilds, and Renaissance. Hopefully that was pretty enlightening for you. We talked about coffers, we talked about overpaying, we talked about variety in our hand with Cornucopia, we talked about villagers with Renaissance, we talked about artifacts with Renaissance, and now what we are going to do is talk about the last part of Renaissance, projects. We're going to get rid of all of these cards, and we're just going to play with the expansions that we've learned about so far, which are Base, Intrigue, Prosperity, Cornucopia and Guilds, and Renaissance. So these are all cards that I've shown off on the channel. The only other thing I want to make note of before we get into this, we're going to add a couple projects here real quick. And the only other thing I want to talk about with Renaissance before we get into it is duration cards. My friends who have played with me know about these because we played with Seaside, and Seaside is the originator of duration cards. Duration cards, very simply put, in case we get 1 or 2 in the mix, will do something for you beneficial at when you play it, and will do something beneficial for you at the start of your next turn. It stays in play, and it was removed from play when the turn that it's resolved on ends, if that makes sense. So if I play this on turn 1, which is impossible, but if I play this on turn 1, once per turn, when I gain a card, I can set it aside face up on top of it, and at the start of my next turn, I put it into my hand. So on turn 2, I put the card that I placed onto cargo ship into my hand, and at the end of turn 2, cargo ship gets discarded along with everything else. The online client will do this for you. If you're playing in person, not so much. You're going to have to be very aware of which duration cards you played that turn and which duration cards are in play from the previous turn, because it can get confusing. There's only 2 duration cards in Renaissance: Cargo Ship and Research, and I just wanted to clarify what duration cards do in case we get one of those in the mix here. But the big thing is going to be projects. Now, projects are going to be horizontal cards that are added to the kingdom. All of these cards are from the expansions that we've worked with before. Chapel, base set, Lurker's Intrigue, Swindler's Intrigue, Hideout is Renaissance, Harvest is Cornucopia, Royal Seal is Prosperity, yada yada yada. Projects are from Renaissance, and they are currently only in the Renaissance expansion. These are sideways cards